Hi, I'm Denise Magson, Marketing Manager at the Northern College of Acupuncture. Today I'll be talking to Nick Pahl, who is the Chief Executive of the British Acupuncture Council, BAcC for short. The majority of our students join the BAcC as student members and then go on to full membership when they have successfully completed their training. As a college, we are accredited by the independent accreditation body set up by the BAcC, the British Acupuncture Accreditation Board, BAAB for short. This means that we reach the high standard set by the board for acupuncture education. I'm particularly looking forward to hearing what Nick has to tell us about the origins of the BAcC and its role steering and supporting the acupuncture profession now and in the future. Hi Nick.
Hello.
Welcome
nice
to the Northern College of Acupuncture.
Yeah, I'm pleased to be here.
Yeah, delighted that you could be there.
Thanks.
Do come and take a seat.
Yeah. Good.
Nick, welcome to the Northern College of Acupuncture. Could you tell us something about the origins of the BAcC, how and when it started?
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for interviewing me. Well, the BAcC started really as a result of the accreditation board, the British Acupuncture Accreditation Board, coming together in 1990, and that board accredits programs, makes sure the quality of courses is good at a degree level equivalent at the WHO standard. So that started in 1990, and then also there was work on the journal, the European Journal of Oriental Medicine, coming together across the different acupuncture associations. They're 21 years old, and then as a result of that accreditation work and that coming together on the journal, there was a decision for 4 different acupuncture associations to combine to produce the British Acupuncture Council, and that was in 1996. And the aim really is to progress acupuncture in the UK to ensure standards are good and ensure that acupuncture has a future strong voice both for members and to the public. I mean, since then there has been also work on the Acupuncture Research Resource Centre that's also come in under the BAcC umbrella.
Fantastic. How has the BAcC developed since its starting, and what are its main activities?
Well, I suppose we can add that the number of members has increased, so now we're around 3,000, and we were well below that when we started. We've become more professional. It was used to be run by acupuncturists who then did their role on the membership association, but now we have professionals who do that membership side, the research side, conference, etc. EJOM, the journal, is now peer reviewed, so there's been growth there. There's more institutions who are accredited by the Accreditation Board. We've got 11 at the moment. And recently we've got an Acupuncture Awareness Week that happens every March, and that's grown in the past 3 years. So there's been growth right the way through since its inception.
I'd be really interested to know a little bit more about your role as the Chief Executive within the organisation.
Well, I've got a role to project what we do to the outside world, to policymakers, parliamentarians, to the countries of the UK, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, to really try and make change where there's problems. So with CAP-ASA, with advertising standards, we've had issues about how we can communicate. So there's that kind of public policy role with external stakeholders. I mean, core to the role, we wouldn't be here without our members, is supporting members, and I've got a background in the NHS, and so there's, for example, questions about how they can get commission from the NHS. Sometimes I troubleshoot, sometimes members have difficulties and we need to support them, be it in a practice space or sometimes in teaching situations. We've got a staff team and making sure that they feel that we're all working in the right direction, managing them, and then really I report to the governing board, which I've explained before, and make sure that the strategy is the right strategy for members and for acupuncture.
What role do the regional groups have to play?
Well, the regional groups create that connection between members locally, and then they meet nationally, and we've got over 40 regional groups across the country, and then we have specific national events for Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. They've got a budget, and they can bring in speakers, they can have social events, Christmas party, they can help with practitioner development. We've got a whole network of practitioner development leads that link with the regional group coordinators to support practitioners in their practice, supervision, if necessary, mentoring, that kind of support, but also fundamentally to ensure they get their CPD return in, their continuing professional development return in. So the ways of connecting people, and I think it's a successful way of ensuring people also develop their practice.
The accreditation body supported by the BAcC is the British Acupuncture Accreditation Board, or BAAB for short. Why is it important for students to study at a college or university that's BAAB accredited?
The accreditation safeguards standards of teaching, and it's really important that we do safeguard those standards at the World Health Organization level, because what we don't want is a race to the bottom where we have poor quality acupuncture teaching, people practicing with just a few weekends training, and that would not be good for the patient, it would not be good for the public perception of acupuncture. So we have to safeguard those standards to ensure acupuncture is respected and seen as a profession. I think the BAB also helps courses develop. They want to ensure courses are successful, bring in new ways of teaching. They aim for graduates really to be knowledgeable in acupuncture, to reflect, to be competent and safe. So those are really key principles that they work with teaching institutions on, and I think they've done a great job with that.
All our students here at the NCA are encouraged to join the BAcC as members when they start their training here. What would you see are the key benefits to students to join the BAcC when they start?
Well, I think it's a free offer that will help students in their studies, and the benefits that we offer includes discounted books, and there's a big expense for students to buy books, and we offer big discounts for that. We've started a new database on dissertations, so you can see what other dissertations have happened in other teaching institutions. We have our research database, and through the BAcC web area, and we've got a research manager. They can help students with their research. They can join regional groups even when they're not a full member, where there's regional groups with members there, and they can really get a taste of what it's like to be a practicing acupuncturist. And then we really sort of step up our focus towards the end of the studies about getting ready for practice. We offer free workshops, we offer an advice document on how to set up your practice properly, and then there's a whole transition as they become a member to support them in those difficult sort of first or second years as they become a practitioner out in the real world. So there's a whole variety of benefits, but I suppose fundamentally also it's that connection with each other, with BAcC, with acupuncture in generally, and they get the acupuncturist and e-news just to keep them up to date and start to build them on that journey to become full successful practitioners in their own right.
There are lots of benefits to full membership, including insurance, information, support. But again, what would you see as the key benefits of joining once you've completed your training?
Was the passion of acupuncture, and the fact that the British Acupuncture Council, along with teaching institutions like the Northern College, really have the heart and soul of acupuncture at its heart, and we are the voice of acupuncture. I've talked about the high standards that being part of the British Acupuncture Council ensures that, and tries to protect poor quality acupuncturists from practicing. We have various awareness weeks, which I talked about, to support practitioners get those referrals from patients, and we do a lot of PR marketing to ensure there's growth. There has been growth of about a third in the past decade, an increase to over 4.5 million treatments a year, and so we want to continue to get acupuncture, British Acupuncture Council, acupuncture mentioned in the press. I talked about the connections as well. I mean, being a practitioner can be a bit isolating. You're working on your own quite often. We want to bring people together through regional groups. There's the conference. We've got an online web area. There's e-news. And then there's publications like the journal, The Acupuncturist, that really helps people bring together and sense that we are an acupuncture movement that can only grow from strength to strength.
And what are your aspirations for the BAcC in the future, and also the future of the acupuncture profession as a whole?
Well, I'd like to see all practitioners being confident and well trained, but confidence is important, and we want to ensure that acupuncture as a profession feels confident, that we project confidently what acupuncture has to offer, and then practitioners also feel a sense of security, but also assured in their practice and how they communicate and work with patients. The roots of acupuncture is important. I think we need to continually recognise that we are an organisation of traditional acupuncturists that has that links with traditional Chinese medicine, East Asian medicine. So we are, in a sense, just holding acupuncture to pass on to future generations. But it's more than that as well. We need to ensure there's good research coming through, that we have the evidence base to demonstrate that acupuncture has an impact that's important for Western science and with Western medicine. We need to continue to campaign. We need to be more assertive where necessary with areas where there's difficulties and we're facing challenges like the Advertising Standards Authority. We want to get more reimbursement from private health insurers for our members. And there's some niggles like the blood donation issue that we need to crack for members. But overall, we have got aspiration that acupuncture is available to all, that is seen as a valid healthcare choice, that GPs and Western medicine practitioners refer to acupuncture straight away, not when it's a last resort. But I do feel confident that's going to happen, and the growth of acupuncture, I think, is exciting. It's an exciting time.
Okay, finally, Nick, I'm just going to ask you one more question. What would you say to anybody who's watching this video who's thinking about starting their training as an acupuncturist?
Well, it's an incredibly satisfying career. Not that I'm a practitioner, but I meet practitioners right across the country, and they are very content and satisfied with their career. They feel that they are making a difference to patients. They've got their own autonomy. I mean, there's studies obviously that show that wellness and happiness comes from when you're in control of your life, and acupuncturists certainly are in control of their life. And you might not be the richest person in the world, but there's more to life than money. And I just think it's a wise choice for a contented and fulfilling career.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you ever so much for coming today and answering all those questions for us. And I'm sure that that's going to give people a really great introduction to the BAcC and your role and what people can expect as student members, and also when they join as full members.
Absolutely, that's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Nick.
Okay, nice to be here.